What if everything you were taught about creating the life of your dreams was actually upside down? What if what you desire so deeply isn't something to be achieved, but something that's already ready, just waiting for a version of you that can recognize it? That possibility changes everything. Because it's not about chasing or doing more. It's about remembering. Remembering who you are beneath the fear, beneath the effort, beneath the belief that you need to prove your worth in order to deserve what you dream of. What if your deepest desire isn't a goal, but a frequency you've simply forgotten how to sustain? Think of the last time you felt like you were doing everything right, affirming, visualizing, trying to stay positive, and still, nothing seemed to shift. Not because something was wrong with you, but because you were trying to change the outside without first changing the signal you're emitting from within. In quantum physics, it's not desire that shapes reality, it's sustained vibration. You can want something with all your might, but if your vibrational identity is still anchored in lack, in doubt, in absence, the field can only reflect that same signature. The universe doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to what you are, consistently. The real shift begins when you stop trying to convince the universe and start reprogramming your body, because the body is what sustains the frequency. The mind thinks, but the body vibrates, and what vibrates is what collapses into reality. You can affirm 1,000 times that you want abundance, love, freedom, but if your body still carries the fear of lack, the memory of abandonment, or the weight of doubt, what manifests is the reflection of those hidden vibrations. Because it's not an isolated thought that collapses reality, it's the sum of who you're being. This is where many people get lost. They believe they're vibrating the new, but they keep collapsing the old. They're still waiting for the world to change so they can finally feel different. But the quantum field doesn't operate through cause and effect. It operates through correspondence. And it mirrors your energetic signature with precision. And that signature doesn't shift through words. It shifts through presence, through felt emotion, through the body believing, truly, that this new reality is safe, possible, and familiar. Because as long as your nervous system is wired for survival, it won't let you relax into the new. It will keep reaching for the known, even if the known hurts. Quantum collapse is happening all the time. Every repeated thought, every sustained emotion, every reinforced belief is an act of observation. And to observe is to choose which possibility among infinite ones will take form. That's why what you feel right now matters more than everything you've ever visualized. Manifestation isn't a race for proof. It's a silent return to who you are when you stop fighting, forcing, trying. Because it's in that space of pure presence that you begin to collapse a new timeline. Not because you earned it, but because you became energetically compatible with it. At the deepest level of reality, you're not bound to a single version of yourself. In the quantum field, all possibilities coexist. The abundant you, the brave you, the light, confident, fulfilled you. All of these versions already exist, floating as potentials ready to collapse into the now. And it's not about luck or worthiness, it's about resonance. This is the principle of quantum superposition. Until a possibility is observed, all of them exist at once. Which means, until you define who you are being, you are still all of them. But the moment you choose and feel one of them as yours, the field begins to reorganize everything around you to match this new version. But here's what no one tells you. True choice isn't mental, it's vibrational. You don't access the abundant you just by thinking like them. You access it by feeling, acting, and moving as them. And that doesn't happen through force, it happens through rehearsal. You rehearse the feeling, you rehearse the posture, you rehearse resting in a new identity until the body says it's safe to be this now. That's when collapse happens. The new timeline doesn't show up because you forced it. It shows up because you held enough coherence for that version to no longer feel like a visitor, but a home. And the field, always neutral and responsive, simply answers to the clearest signal. And when you live as the one who already is, something subtle and magical begins to unfold. Reality, once resistant, starts to bend. Not because you controlled it, but because you remembered. And the field always responds to those who remember. You can tell the universe you want a new reality, But the universe doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to what you vibrate. And vibration is not a random thought. It's the coherence between mind, heart, and body. When those three align, your field becomes clear, precise, detectable, and everything around you starts to reorganize in response. Joe Dispenza calls this electromagnetic coherence. When the heart, your emotional and intuitive center, comes into resonance with the mind, your rational and intentional center. In this state, your energetic signature becomes powerful, organized, magnetic. You stop sending mixed signals and start radiating one clear frequency, impossible for the field to ignore. Neville Goddard called it assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It's not about imagining you'll have it. It's about embodying the "it's already done." It's like stepping into the identity of your future self and walking in it until the whole world recognizes it as truth. Not as performance, but as embodiment. And Abraham Hicks puts it simply, you have to feel it before you see it. Emotion is the magnet. Thought is the command. But it's the body, vibrating in coherence with that state, that sends the signal that collapses reality. Without coherence, there's noise. With coherence, there's manifestation. That's why repeating affirmations without feeling, visualizing without believing, or desiring while still vibrating in fear doesn't work. Because the field is honest, and it only responds to your deepest truth, the one your nervous system sustains, even when no one is watching. If you feel stuck, like you're doing everything right but nothing is changing, maybe the question isn't what's missing out there, but what's misaligned in here. Because the biggest block to manifestation isn't a lack of effort, it's too much control. And control is the opposite of trust. It's the opposite of allowing. And the field doesn't open for those who force. It responds to those who flow. Most people try to force a new reality from a body still vibrating in lack. They try to visualize the future while remaining emotionally anchored to the past. They try to sustain optimism in the mind while the heart is closed and the body lives in alert. And the universe, coherent and precise, can only mirror back that confusion. You don't attract what you want. You attract what is available in you as a consistent vibration. The field doesn't respond to intention without emotion or desire without presence. It responds to energetic language. And that language becomes clear when you stop waiting for something to change before you feel, and start feeling so something can change. That's why so many people feel exhausted trying to manifest, because they're chasing a new life with the frequency of the old one. They're asking for evidence before allowing themselves to trust. But in the quantum field, the flow is reversed. It's the state of trust that brings the evidence. It's the vibration of abundance that attracts the signs, not the other way around. And that's freeing, because it means it doesn't depend on the world. It depends on you remembering, aligning, becoming. When you choose to vibrate differently, even if nothing has changed yet, you've already started collapsing a new version of your reality. There's a subtle turning point in the manifestation journey, when you stop asking, when will it happen, and start asking, who am I being right now? That's where real change begins. Because the field doesn't respond to waiting, it responds to embodiment. As long as you're waiting for a sign to feel safe, the universe will keep mirroring that waiting. Because it's a mirror, not a judge. It doesn't punish, it doesn't reward, it simply reflects. And if your vibration says, it's not mine yet, then it's not, even if your desire says otherwise. This is the moment you learn to stop seeking signs and start being the sign. To walk like someone who already has, to speak like someone who has already received, to breathe like someone who's no longer asking, but allowing. Because the universe doesn't respond to pleading. It responds to alignment, and alignment is silence, it's presence, it's naturalness. Being the signal doesn't mean pretending. It's not about faking it with empty optimism. It's about knowing in your body that what you desire is already a real possibility, and treating it as familiar, as inevitable, as something that can only manifest because you no longer vibrate in doubt. You vibrate in certainty, and when the field senses that internal coherence, it responds, not later, not someday, but now, because the outer world is always a reflection of what you sustain within. And when your vibration says, it's already mine, the mirror bends and life reorganizes. Nothing truly changes while your body still feels that the new is unsafe. You can repeat affirmations, visualize, do rituals, but if your nervous system is stuck in the frequency of the past, it will sabotage every step toward the future. Because the body doesn't distinguish between what's desired and what's familiar. It simply seeks what it knows. And if what it knows is pain, scarcity, or struggle, that's what it will keep attracting. That's why manifestation isn't about wanting harder. It's about training the body to inhabit the new vibration, training the heart to open without fear, training the mind to focus without anxiety, training the nervous system to breathe in the present and say, it's safe to live something different. Joe Dispenza calls this installing the neurological hardware of a new identity. It's when you start thinking, feeling, and acting like your future self before it exists in the material world. And this isn't delusional optimism, it's deep reprogramming. It's rewriting the emotional chemistry of the body until it vibrates a new truth. When the body aligns, the subconscious stops resisting. And when the subconscious stops resisting, the field stops reflecting blocks. Because now, you're no longer trying to create from lack, you're sustaining a vibration of wholeness. And the field recognizes that as a new point of attraction. That's the moment you're no longer chasing a new life. You are that life. You're not waiting for the external to confirm. You're living as if it's already real. And that inner coherence is what finally convinces the universe, not through words, but through embodied vibration. At the quantum level, every choice you make, conscious or not, collapses a version of reality. This means that with each repeated thought, each sustained emotion, each belief you feed, you're choosing which timeline will become your lived experience. And the most challenging part? Most people are collapsing limited versions of their own future without even realizing it. When you wake up every day and identify with scarcity, with pain, with the idea that nothing works out for me, you are making a vibrational statement. You're telling the field, this is what I recognize as true. And the field, loyal and precise, responds, then this is what I'll reflect back. It's not about guilt, it's about awareness. Because no one taught us that emotion is a creative tool, that emotional habit is energetic programming, that living in resentment or anxiety isn't just uncomfortable, it's creative. You are literally choosing a future based on your past, without knowing it. But when you bring this awareness into the present, everything shifts. You stop living on autopilot. You witness your reactions. You choose new thoughts, even if they feel fragile. You sustain new emotions, even if your body resists. And in that moment, you disrupt the pattern. You interrupt the cycle. You begin to collapse a new timeline. And the most magical part? You don't need to see anything change to know it's working. Because transformation happens first in the unseen. It begins in silence, in breath, in inner alignment. Only then does it crystallize into form. Because before the new reality can be visible in the world, it must be vibrationally recognized by you. At the heart of quantum physics lies a simple yet revolutionary principle. The act of observing alters what is being observed. This means the way you look at life shapes the life you live, and the observer you choose to be defines the field you collapse. But it's not just about looking with your eyes. It's about presence, attention, emotional energy. The field doesn't respond to what you see intellectually, but to what you feel deeply. And when you observe your reality through the lens of past pain, fear of repetition, or exhaustion from waiting, you activate the same old frequencies, and the field mirrors them with precision. But when you become a conscious observer, everything changes. You witness your thoughts, but you don't attach to them. You feel emotion, but you don't merge with it. You bring clarity and breath into the now, and in that moment, the field begins to shift. Because you're no longer operating from programming, you're choosing awareness. That choice rewrites not just the future, but the past. Because your relationship with your memories changes. Pain stops being a prison and becomes fuel. Failures stop being a sentence and become momentum. And this reorganizes your state of being in the now. The quantum field is not linear, it's holographic, intelligent, and deeply responsive to the present. And when you begin to observe the world through the eyes of your future self, the one who has already healed, already overcome, already lives in abundance, you start to vibrate like them. And the field responds. Not by magic, but by coherence. You don't need to change what happened. You just need to change who's watching. And that shift alone begins to collapse a brand new path. There's a moment that doesn't arrive with noise, but changes everything. The instant you decide not to repeat the pattern. When you feel fear and still choose not to retreat. When anxiety tries to pull you back into the old space, and you choose to breathe instead. When the mind says, this will go wrong, and you still align with the possibility that it could go right. That moment is what physics would call interference, a break in the repetitive vibrational cycle, a new signal sent into the field. And though it may seem invisible, it changes the trajectory of your life, because the field responds to your dominant frequency. And when that frequency shifts, even for a few seconds, new timelines begin to form around you. But it takes courage, because the new isn't comfortable, it's unfamiliar. And your nervous system will try to pull you back to the familiar. It will seek safety in old habits, even if they hurt. And that's where your power lies, to stay, to breathe, to hold, to remember that the new version of you is being born in that very moment. When you stop reinforcing the old pattern, when you choose to feel what you've never felt before, like gratitude for no reason, peace in the midst of chaos, joy without explanation, you begin to imprint a new code into the field. A code that can only be broadcast by those who dare to trust before they see. By those who decide they don't need proof to be whole now. And then, the field responds. Synchronicities appear. People shift. Opportunities arise from places you never expected. Not because you manipulated anything, but because you became compatible. Because now, you are a clear vibrational antenna. And life recognizes that. You are not here to repeat the old story. You are here to rewrite it with the frequency of the truth that has lived within you all along.